Did President Tolbert have a son, Mr. Taylor?
Oh, yes, he did. He had a son, and his name was A.B. Tolbert, Jr.
Was he married?
Yes, he was married.
To whom?
He was married to the goddaughter of the president of La Côte d'Ivoire.
What was her name?
Her name was, well, her name is Daisy. She's still alive. I remember in my statement on yesterday, I mentioned that after the death of Tolbert, who was chairman of the OAU, some of the tensions that came up was as a result of him being the chairman of the OAU, but equally so, like Côte d'Ivoire became anxious because of the presence in Liberia still of the president's, what we call it goddaughter, but it's almost in Africa, it's just about your daughter, was also of concern to him, and this was causing more trouble. So he was married to the daughter, I would say.
So the daughter was in Liberia at the time of the coup. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
That is correct.
And help us, did anything in particular occur in relation to her?
Oh, yes.
What was that?
On or about the third day of the coup, while we are sitting in the commanding general's office, and I say, why are we? Again, let me just say who we are. I'm there, my fiancé is there, and other members of the council. A lady is brought in, and I still remember very, very clearly, in a very yellow dress, and she appears to be pregnant, and she's fair in complexion, and she's really, really stressed out. And I say, but who is this lady? And they say, oh, this is A.B. Tolbert's wife. But I was still in the United States, and I remembered that A.B. Tolbert was married to the daughter of the president of La Côte d'Ivoire. And I said immediately, oh, General, we can't touch this woman, turn her over immediately to the Ivorian ambassador. And quickly he said, okay, fine. And I personally, along with my fiancée, escorted Daisy to the Ivorian embassy, and I turned her over to the ambassador.
And what happened to her after that?
She was immediately thereafter, the president of La Côte d'Ivoire asked permission for an aircraft to come in. He sent in an aircraft, and she was picked up and flown to Abidjan.
And help us. To which country did Doe make his first official overseas trip?
To the best of my recollection, it was to La Côte d'Ivoire.
Now, meanwhile, what happened to Tolbert's son?
A.B. Tolbert managed to take refuge, apparently, and I must say here apparently because news stories put him at several different places, but finally he ended up at the French embassy accredited near the capital. He was there for a very long time. I would say close to about a year, and intelligence reports, and finally, I think it was a cook, and I'm virtually sure, because I'm sure using the word "think" in the transcript may not be proper. I'm sure that a cook at the embassy revealed to a friend that there was something funny at the embassy, that food was being prepared and taken into one section of the embassy, and they had no access, and there were whispers that A.B. Tolbert was there. And very sadly and unfortunately, before some of us who knew better could intervene, and quite frankly, I must say General Coup was not a part of this. If not, he probably would have listened. Orders were given, and the French embassy was stormed
By whom?
By orders from the chairman of the council, Samuel Doe. The embassy was broken into against the protests of the ambassador, and A.B. Tolbert was taken out of the embassy forcibly, kept at the central barracks prison for several months, and later executed.
And help me, as far as you're aware, how did the president of the Côte d'Ivoire feel about the death of his son-in-law?
Oh, quite frankly, President Houphouët-Boigny, and that's one name that I'm going to depend on you guys to do that. It was very, very, not just upset but sad. Imagine your daughter crying on your shoulder. Her husband has just been taken out and executed. It was a very, 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 very sad picture. In fact, it was very serious because after A.B. was taken from the embassy, there were pleas to save him from not just the president of La Côte d'Ivoire, but from so many diplomatic sources. But the senior members of the council decided that they would not have any of that, and that their biggest concern was that, in fact, Huophouët-Boigny said, well, let me send for him. I gave him to me, and they felt that A.B. had the capacity, leaving the country, to mount a comeback for his father. And so they decided that they would not let him live.